Hello, everybody. It's Carla. I wanted to talk today about the burden of the diagnosis. Okay. I want to talk about this because I think it's very important that we pay attention to when we're diagnosed with something. Okay. The diagnosis doesn't always have to be health, it could be even in personality, it could be a diagnosis of attitude. It could be a diagnosis of how people receive you. It could be a diagnosis of people saying that, hey, you are somebody that is, hard to get along with. But I want to talk about diagnoses today because I think it's important. Um, I want to give you guys just an example of what I mean. A lot of times we can be burdened with finding out that we have a diagnosis of some kind in our life. We can have a health scare, which means they could tell us we have, I don't know, a very chronic disease. They could tell us we have some type of disorder. They could tell us we have some type of you know, problem, for instance. And I think we're better to be mindful of what we internalize with that diagnosis. Okay, I want to tell you a story about myself. I was diagnosed um, as a child. I think I may have been about 5, maybe 6, but I think my recollection is I was 5 years old. And I was told at 5 that unfortunately she cannot comprehend, which means I cannot understand what I read. And they also said that I am not able to follow directions. So just let me show you, for example, how something that small, that may seem like it doesn't mean much or a hill of beans to someone else, really impacted my life and what I believed about myself. I actually accepted that as a state of being. So, for the longest time, I believed that I could not read. I believed I had a hard time with instructions and understanding how to follow directions. I believed those things. And so, I'm telling you, it's very important that we change how we view what someone else is telling us. Be it that it may, we'll just say like a health scare. I know a lot of my friends have been told that they have OCD, that they are obsessive compulsive. And then I have a lot of people that say they are obsessive compulsive and have not had the diagnosis, but because they take on a certain trait or a certain pride in themselves or a certain side of themselves that's extremely neat, they actually believe that they are or have that diagnosis. They believe in their soul that they are OCD. I know of people that claim to be PTSD, that they've been in a traumatic experience and had have trauma in their life. And they also as well have taken on that diagnosis, and it has now become a part of their identity that is not separate from them, but by where it is actually them. They actually have channeled that and believe that to be who they are. So, in other words, I'll use as an example myself. I would say to myself, hello, I am someone who cannot follow directions and I have a hard time with reading comprehension. And by the way, I'm Carla, by the way. And I wore that for a long time. I wore that from the age of 5 till 25. It was a 20-year diagnosis that I accepted and I actually approved and agreed to allowing to impact my life to the point where I thought I was an invalid, if you will. I thought I couldn't read. I believed that. I believed that I was incapable until I went to college and was tested and was told, "Who told you that? Because you read just fine. You don't have any reading disability. You are capable of reading." What? Excuse me? You're talking about me? That's me? Yes. So I said all that to say this. If you are ever diagnosed, I don't care if it's health, I don't care if it's medically. I don't care if it's mentally. I don't care if it's personality traits. Whatever diagnosis you have been labeled under, you don't have to allow that to define you. Okay? So I want you to express to yourself, I am, and make sure you own who you are. I don't care if people say you have OCD. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be that. You can be someone that has pride and is proud of how you keep your house and keep your place. It does not necessarily mean that you're obsessive compulsive because you are neat and would like to be organized. That does not mean that you are OCD. Just because you have had a traumatic experience and you went through some hell and you have had some type of traumatic, event does not mean that you cannot rise up from that and not be a victim but become a survivor. I have known many people in the domestic violence world that has been victimized, traumatized, brutalized. And they do not lay or stay in that mindset of who they were when they were a victim. They come out of it and they become a survivor and teach and show and become who they are in their presence of now and say, yes, that was a part of my history. Even in a medical diagnosis, yes, I have whatever condition it is. It could be lupus, it could be cancer, it could be whatever that diagnosis it is. You can have that disease or that condition. However, it does not have to define you. It does not have to have a grip on your life that you cannot advance in your life. So I just wanted to give you guys something very important. You don't have to be burdened by any diagnosis. Become who you are and change the face of what you see yourself as. Change the face of what other people are determining you to be because of that condition. You don't have to wear that condition on your presence at all. It could be what it is, but you don't have to wear that. After I had got exonerated from that prison of thinking I couldn't read, I am now a writer. I am now someone that speaks in front of people. I am now someone that has become something else besides being the person that was incapable of reading. You can do it too. Okay? So I hope I helped somebody today. I hope that this really changed and transformed your life. As far as I'm concerned, we don't have to live under the label of any diagnosis. Let's follow and be about who we are and become who we are, not based upon what our hindrances are or our challenges are, but be who we are because we are powerful, beautiful, amazing people, and we have a purpose to fill. And that, in and of itself, is the beauty of what it takes to be who we are on the planet. I hope this helps somebody. I'm out of here. I hope this helps. It's Carla Nicole. I'm signing off. Best kept. Have a good day. Bye.